Hello everyone, Chris McDaniel here again. Today we're going to show you the manipulation of the Craig tube assembly. So what I have is my stuff in the Craig tube, and it's just setting in an Erlenmeyer flask after my recrystallization, just to let it stand it up. What you want to first is grab a length of copper wire that is just longer than about half of the centrifuge tube, maybe a little bit longer. And you want to loop it around the stem end of the Teflon plunger. Then you want to take your Craig tube, insert the plunger, that pointed end down, into the Craig tube, and bring that copper wire down along the side of the Craig tube. Now you're going to take your centrifuge tube, invert it over the top of the plunger. You're going to feel a little resistance, but he will go inside. And then we're going to turn the whole apparatus over, all while keeping pressure so that that plunger stays firmly pressed and seated against those frits that are in the glass of the Craig tube. Notice you have a little extra here. Bend that guy down, and we're going to centrifuge this down. And what's going to happen is the centrifugal force is going to pull all the solvent down while leaving the crystals behind. And centrifuged it. After a couple of minutes, that of course was deleted, but when you're in the centrifuge, of course, you have to make sure it's balanced. You want to do it for about 2 minutes, excuse me. What you can notice here is that we have the solvent that the centrifugal force has pulled down into the centrifuge tube, leaving the solid behind on the plunger and onto the sides of the sides of the Craig tube. What you want to do now, as well, of course, still holding some pressure, is use the copper wire to pull up so that your plunger doesn't get released, because that's where your stuff is. This centrifuge tube now that mother liquor is what that's called, and has the waste. You can then remove the copper wire, and now you can take this guy, and what you're going to do is separate the two, and the crystals, if they're dry enough, will fall right out, so you'll have to make sure to do it onto a piece of teared whey paper or filter paper. All right, thanks for watching.